Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be one of those homemade MREs that I'm kind of excited about because I think this is going to be a hit. Recently, the wife and I were at Whole Foods. We were shopping for contents for an upcoming video that we're working on. A while back, we did a video together where I introduced her to my audience, and you guys loved her so much and wanted her back. And that video was to mark an occasion of hitting a milestone with subscribers on this channel. Well, we are currently working on a video for our 25,000 subscriber special where we are going to be building the promised homemade MRE charcuterie. So if that's something you want to see, leave us a comment, tell us about it. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, do that, because as soon as we hit 25,000 subs, we're going to drop that video. And you guys are going to get to spend a little bit more time with DL. So while we were there looking for those things, I started finding things and realizing I can totally build another homemade MRE here just for me. So let me introduce to you the Dad Budget Adventures Homemade MRE Menu WF2. Remember, we've already done one video at Whole Foods, so this is going to be our menu 2. Now, I kind of went on a mission with this one because Whole Foods can be a bit pricey, and I didn't want to just grab items because I thought they'd make a good MRE. I also wanted to keep in mind that one of the ideas behind building your homemade MREs is making them a little more economical than buying the pre-made ones that you can get online. So the more I can knock the price down on these, the more that makes sense. So I made sure that where I could, I was buying items that had lower price tags on them. And I also followed the new tradition that I'm starting here of trying to use store brand items where I can. Now, if you're curious about the rules for how I build my MREs, they're going to be down in the description box below. Go down and check that out, and that'll give you a little bit more idea of how my brain works when I'm making these. So now let's open up this bag and see what is in my homemade MRE from Whole Foods. So our entree for this meal was the thing that kind of started to kickstart the idea, but when I came across my side, it solidified the plan to do another MRE here. For my entree, I picked up this organic 3-bean chili. This is the 365 Whole Foods store brand. It's in a little carton, which is going to make it easier to dispose of the packaging once you're done with it. It also makes it a little easier to pack away. So I think overall, this is going to be a very viable option to use for our main. Now, to go with that, the side that really drove it home, this is a product that you have seen a variety of a couple times on this channel. I picked up another Philo's Walking Tamale. This is the sweet corn elote flavor. I had several of the walking tamales that I bought off of Amazon. I found them in a couple of other stores since, but I have not seen this particular flavor. So I'm really anxious to try this. So before we go any further, let's get our entree and our side into the trucker's lunchbox so they can be heating up so we can get on and see what else is in here. All right, so while that's cooking away, let's explore the other things in this bag. Next up is our walking around snack. For that, I picked up another of the store brand 365 Whole Foods. This is the Cape Cod Trail Mix. I went through a variety of their flavors of trail mix. They had several different kinds, but unfortunately, most of them did not have the shelf life that I was looking for. And I found this Cape Cod Trail Mix. So this is a mix of cashews and some dried cranberries and some other nuts. So I think this is going to be a hit. Next up is our dessert. And for dessert, I found this Over Easy Soft and Chewy Oat Bar. This is the peanut butter and dark chocolate flavor. I love peanut butter. I love dark chocolate. It is a great combination, plus a little bit of oats. So we'll get just a little bit of sugar, a little bit of energy out of our dessert. And finally is our beverage. This is another one of the 365 Whole Foods store brand items, and this is instant espresso. When I came across this, I absolutely had to include this because instant coffee is one of those things that's always just a little bit questionable. And until you try it, you never really know if it's going to be any good or not. And I figured that if Whole Foods was willing to put their name on the package, that it's probably going to be a pretty good coffee. Now, like I said, this is instant espresso. It's going to be a little stronger than coffee. So to go with that, I also included one of these Copper Cow creamers. This is basically sweetened condensed milk in a package. This was sent to me by a viewer off of the Amazon wish list. So we're going to include that to make that espresso just a little bit better. Also, I threw something else in here that I wanted to include because of the tamale mostly, but one of the things that I get a lot of suggestions about is including condiment packs from restaurants. Now, while I don't condone going in and just grabbing handfuls of condiment packs, one of the things that I do is anytime I go to a restaurant that offers them, I ask them to throw them in the bag whether I plan on using them or not. Because if they're going to give them to me anyway, I might as well make use of them. So I have a drawer at home that I throw condiments in if I don't use them. And I went in there and dug out a couple of packs of the Taco Bell fire sauce. Now, apparently I went through all of my salsa packs that I bought off of Amazon. So I need to order some more of those because those are really good. So when I was packing this up, I was hoping to include a couple of those, but I adapted, improvised, and overcame and added Taco Bell sauce. Okay, so that's everything that is in our homemade MRE from Whole Foods. Let's start trying some of these items. See if it's any good. First thing we're going to do is mix up our espresso, and I made sure that this time I put just a very little bit of water in here because if I'm making espresso, then I need to make it strong, right? So let's get this poured out. That smells like a good, rich coffee. It does not have any kind of an off-putting smell. It smells like it's going to be good stuff. So let's pour that up and let's stir it in. We're going to set this aside and let it rest for just a minute. Start trying some of these other items. First up, we've got our 365 Whole Foods Cape Cod Trail Mix. Trail Mix is one of those things that's kind of perfect for doing MREs, just because the ingredients tend to be things that are designed to give you energy. Got a little bit of protein, sometimes you've got a little sugar, a little bit of salt, but you've definitely got the things you need to create a little bit of energy. So let's get this out, see what we've got here. I see almonds, cashews, looks like peanuts, and cranberries. Sounds like a good mix to me. Let's give it a try. That's a good trail mix. It doesn't appear to have any extra sugars or any extra salt added to it. So if those are things you're needing to watch, it seems like a pretty good option for you. All right, let's give this instant espresso a try. I want to try it just on its own, and then I'm going to add the latte creamer into it. It smells really good. This has a really pleasant aroma to it. It just smells like it's going to be good coffee. Let's give it a try, see what we got. Ooh, that's bitter. It's got a pleasant taste to it. It's very bitter, so if you like your coffee that way, that's going to be for you. I'm not a huge fan of bitter coffee, so let's see if we smooth it out a little bit with this. The great thing about these Coffer Cow latte creamers is that you get the advantage of sweetener and creamer in the same package. It's one less thing to have to keep up with. That's one advantage. The other advantage is it's straight up sweetened condensed milk, so once you put everything in there, you can kind of squeeze the rest of this out like that. Oh, that's so good. So stir this in here. It's lightening up that espresso quite a bit. All right, so let's see how this campfire latte turned out. That's pretty good. There's still considerable bitterness, but that latte creamer really tames it a little bit and makes it a much more palatable experience. Yeah, that's good stuff. So I think it's time to start getting into our entree and see if that Whole Foods chili is any good. Box says lift here, and then we're supposed to tear across the top. And try to avoid sloshing it out onto ourselves. That's smelling pretty good. It is a little watery. I'm hoping that that's just floating on top here. Maybe it'll thicken up once we get it poured out. Let's get this into our Hydro Flask bowl. Yeah, it looks like everything had kind of settled in there. Stuff of substance is all on the bottom. Am I wearing any? Hope not. All right, let's stir this up. It is a little more soupy than it is a chili, which I guess is understandable because that was marketed with the other soups. It is really thin though. But let's get a bite of our chili. Get a bunch of these beans. See if this stuff's any good. You know what? For packaged chili, this ain't bad. It's got a good mild flavor to it. That canned chili flavor you always get is way in the background. I mean, I think it's something you're gonna get with packaged chili, but it is definitely not the overwhelming flavor in this. I would 100% buy this again. Now, this is a vegan variety chili. It has no meat or meat products anywhere near it. So if that's how you roll, this one's gonna work for you. Get another sip of this. That's really good chasing that chili. All right, let's get out our Philo's Walking Tamale Sweet Corn Elote. This is called a corn bar, which is an odd phrase to hear, but you know, the thing is, these can be eaten kind of like a granola bar. You can just open the pack like this, squeeze it up, and then just bite off the end of it. That's tasty. It has a sweet hint to it. You can definitely taste the corn, and it's just an overall pleasant flavor. It's not a strong taste. If you like things that are super salty, this is not that. This is definitely not seasoned to the point where you just can't taste anything but the seasoning. This is absolutely made in a way where you can taste that corn. Now, we could definitely eat it like this, but there was a reason I bought tamales and chili, and that was to do this. And then follow it up with this. All right, let's see how this goes. The chili is a little thin for this, but you're not going to hear me complain about that. Let's get a bite of all of it. Oh, y'all. I don't normally enjoy vegan food a lot, but this is totally so good. This is so good. Y'all, this is such a great mix. These two just work well together. Another bite with a little bit of everything. That tamale is almost like throwing a sweet cornbread into the chili. It's a lot more dense and it adds more texture to it, but it kind of has that same flavor as like a honey cornbread or something like that. Y'all want to know how good that was? All gone. I don't even care about the fact that I've got to go edit all that out later. That was too good to stop. I did not want that to sit and just go cold because it was so good. Yeah, that was amazing. That was one of the tastiest combos I've done in a minute. Hey, if you're enjoying this content so far, be sure and like the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Remember, we're trying to get to 25,000 subs. Hit that notification bell to be made aware of all upcoming videos. And leave a comment. Whether you want to tell me how much you like the stuff that was in this or how much you hate my hair, or whatever. Even troll comments feed the algorithm. All right, so we got one more item to try. Let's test out our dessert, this over easy, soft and chewy oat bar, peanut butter and dark chocolate. Look at that thing. That looks tasty. It smells really good. You can definitely smell that peanut butter. All right, let's give that a taste, see what we got. Yep, that is good. It's mildly sweet, which is kind of nice sometimes. Every once in a while, even for a dessert, you don't necessarily want something that's just overly sweet. It's nice to have something that has a sweetness to it, but that's not the only thing you're able to taste. The only negative with this is that it is very dense and very filling, and that chili and tamale has left me really, really full. I'm not going to be able to finish this. Much as I'd like to, that ain't happening. All right, so that is it for this homemade MRE from Whole Foods. I hope you enjoyed that, saw some things maybe you didn't know were out there, and inspired some ideas for you to build your own. Remember that this idea is about just letting you see the things that I'm finding, and then you decide what looks like something you'd like to use, and you build it to your own specifications. Do you need more calories? Put more stuff in it. Do you need less calories? The best part of this is that it is all up to you. You get to build this the way you like it, so that when it comes time to use this, you know you're going to have a bag full of happy food. So cheers to you as we approach 25,000 subs. We'll see how much longer it takes to get there, but once we're there, that video with DL is going to drop, and you guys are going to get to see the homemade MRE charcuterie. But that's it for this one, and until the next time, prepare for the world that you live in, not the one you wish existed. See you around.